Hello, my friends. Welcome to day 9 of Kegel Camp. I want to congratulate you for continuing to come back each and every day. Ultimately, in the morning when your muscles are strong and you're feeling energized and fresh and ready to take on the day. So let's get right into it. As always, if you're experiencing any type of discomfort or soreness or anything like that, take a pause from our 30-day Kegel Camp program. Check the video notes for resources that might help if you have any tension building up in your pelvic floor. We don't want to go for tension, we want to go for resilience, being able to strengthen and relax and release the pelvic floor too. So please do check those notes, and remember, we're not just going for brute strength, we're going for resilience. Okay, if you're ready, a great exercise that's wonderful for resilience and stretching and strengthening and lengthening the pelvic floor is the deep squat. So we have been doing this move at the wall on our back with our feet up. This is ultimately what we're kind of going for here, is this malasana stretch. But if you can't get all the way down into this stretch, that's okay. Let's begin by modifying with a yoga block or some kind of bolsters or cushions that you can actually sit on. Even a step stool will work for you. You can have your yoga block on the highest height like this, although it's a little tippy this way, so be careful. I prefer it on this middle height right here. So you can set the block so that it's right under your sitting bones and you're sitting nice and tall and lifted. Your feet are under your knees, toes pointing out, legs nice and wide. Just be sure here that your spine is lengthened and tall, your heart is lifted, and you're not slouching like this. This puts a lot of downward pressure on your pelvic floor and your pelvic organs. If you have any prolapse at all, this is going to be very bad for your situation. So you want to be lengthened and lifted. That doesn't put that same pressure on your pelvic floor and your pelvic organs. And this actually allows you to experience that deep stretch of the hips and the pelvic floor, and also gets you into this position so that you can ultimately be holding this position by yourself and really strengthening as well. So just begin by sitting on something. Now, another option while you're sitting in this position and getting into it, another option is actually to sit in a chair and to stack some yoga blocks, 2 yoga blocks, or some stacks of books under your feet to elevate your feet and kind of get you into a similar position to this. So that's just another option. And in this position, before we move forward with our exercises for the day, I actually want you to take a minute just to find this nice position, feel that opening of your pelvic floor, and just this unique feeling that many of us don't often sit in this position, so it might be really unique for you to have your hips open in this way. But in this position, I want you to take a minute to just think about releasing your pelvic floor. Allow the muscles of the hips and the pelvic floor just to open and relax. We actually tend to carry a lot of stress and tension in our pelvic floor. So especially during times of big world events that are happening that might be stressful, or personal events in your personal life that might be emotional or impactful in that way, we do tend to tense up in the pelvic region. Just like we tense up in our shoulders and neck and get headaches, we can also get tension headaches, in a way, in our pelvic area. So take a minute to just breathe into this area, relax, know that you are safe right here, right now. You can release, you can let go. Just let those muscles bloom apart as you hold this nice, tall, lengthened position. Take one more deep breath into that pelvic area, into your low back. Think about breathing into your kidneys, your low back, your glutes, and your pelvic floor. Very good. So now we're going to do a quick round of glute exercises, which is really great for counterbalancing our pelvic floor isolated moves. Quick round of glute exercises and then some seated kegels. You will need your chair, so bring your chair over to you carefully. And we're going to begin with either hands on the chair or elbows on the chair. I'm going to start with my hands on the chair. Your knees can be soft. You want to lift your belly button toward your spine. So pull your belly button up toward your spine, really strong through that core. Pull your lower ribs also in. So you don't want your lower ribs jutting forward. We want to be really pulled in. Pelvic floor lifted, belly pulled in, and lower ribs pulled in too. And straighten your right leg back. This is kind of like our bird dog move, but we're just going to be lifting the leg here. So strong through the core, and 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, this leg is bent, 2, and 1. Hold it up, and 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on down, and notice that you can stand up right now if you're watching this. I'm just squatting so I can see the camera, but notice that your core was engaged that whole time. You were working your abs as well as your butt muscles. So let's do the other side. Come on back down to your chair, and knees can be bent to start. Lift that belly button toward the spine, pull in your low ribs, lift your pelvic floor. Everything is strong and engaged, and left leg back behind you. Full extension, 8. Hips are square, pointing down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. 8 pulses. 8, 7. This leg is bent. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, again, you can stand up. I'm going to crouch down just so I can see you. That is something you can revisit throughout the day and do several times today. It's a great move for really isolating those glutes. Now let's sit down and do some Kegels. All right, twice we're going to do our cough with our Kegel. So what I want you to do here is lift your pelvic floor, really feel that engagement through the pelvic floor, hold it, and cough. And now release, let go. Shake it out. Maybe move side to side, and we're going to do it again. Squeeze and lift the pelvic floor muscles inside, hold, and now let go. All right, combo Kegel. So what you're going to do is squeeze and lift the pelvic floor, hold it for 5 counts. Then you're going to release it just a little bit, and then do 3 quick squeezes, and then a full release. Ready? Here we go. Squeeze and lift the pelvic floor. Hold in your Kegel. Hold that contraction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release just a little bit, and then squeeze and lift, release. Squeeze and lift, release. Squeeze and lift, release all the way. Let's try that 2 more times. So be sure you're released all the way. Sitting bones blossom apart. You're totally released and relaxed. Let's do it again. So squeeze and lift the pelvic floor. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now release part way, and then squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, and then release all the way. 1 more time for good measure. So rocking side to side, letting it all go. Deep belly breath, and we do it again. Squeeze and lift the pelvic floor. Hold it up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Partial release, then lift. Partial release, lift. Partial release, lift. And then release all the way. At any time, if you need to do these lying down again because you find it too hard to do seated, that's okay. Just lie down on your back and totally follow along in that way. All right, if you're ready to end with our 20 quick Kegels, let's go for it now. So it's a squeeze and lift and full release 20 times. Here we go. Squeeze and lift, release. 2, 3. Be sure you're getting that full release between each contraction. 5, release. 6, release. 7, follow along. 8, release. 9, release. Keep breathing. 10, release. 11, lift and let it go. 12, and let it go. Make sure your toes aren't curling up. That can happen. Make sure everything is relaxed except your pelvic floor. I think we're on about 15, release. 16, release. If you need to go slower than I'm showing, go for it. 18, release. 19, release. And 20, and release. If at any time you feel like you're actually bearing down on your pelvic floor muscles, or if you feel like you're not getting any type of contraction or any type of release, then that probably means that you need to take a break. You need to do them lying down instead of sitting up. And you just need to tune in a little bit more, be gentle on yourself. So really tune in as we go through and continue to progress these exercises. Gosh, by the end of Kegel Camp, we're going to be adding in impact, weights, all sorts of things. So take the time now to build the strong foundation. Focus on the contraction, but then also the release. And if you're not getting the hang of it, then go see a women's health physical therapist. She can help you really tune into your pelvic floor, whether you're a male or a female. She can help you tune into these muscles so that you really know what you're doing. So until next time, I want to thank you for following along with Kegel Camp, and remember, eat clean, move every day, and you will shine brighter. I will see you tomorrow for day 10.